stop.
What is up, all my beautiful badgers? Welcome back to another video. And today, this one took me a little bit to actually be able to review because I had to watch all of the Star Wars prequels beginning to end, front to back, all of that good stuff. And I'm going to say which one I like the most, which one I like the least, if I think it fits well into the Star Wars series itself, if I think that, if I like the action in it, if I don't, all that stuff. But we'll get to that in the actual video, but this is just the intro, so let's get into that. Alright, so let's get into the first prequel movie. The first one we got is The Phantom Menace, with our boy Qui-Gon Jinn on the front there, along with Padme, young Anakin, and Obi-Wan. Now, this one, I have to say, I feel is probably not the best. I feel like it's the middle of the run in everything. I feel like it's the second best one, because I'm not really a big fan of the second prequel, but the first prequel, it was alright, you know. We got some character building with Obi-Wan, a little bit with Anakin, a lot of Anakin's backstory, mainly. We don't really get much of Obi-Wan up until we get to Anakin, so we don't really know when he started training, but we can guess that he was a youngling at the academy. And we also get to see the attack on Padme's home planet on Naboo, and her trying to help the Senate, they get rid of the Chancellor, and we get to see Palpatine himself get put up as the new Chancellor, tricking Padme, as well as we get to see this little love thing with Padme and Anakin, or at least it seems really one-sided with Anakin. We get to see C-3PO being made by Anakin. We get to see him win the pod race. Basically all the normal stuff you see now. So if you played any of the Lego prequel Star Wars games, you would know about this part. You know, it's a classic movie. It's one that I know personally remember the most out of the prequels before I rewatched them. So this one I'm going to have to rank mid-tier. It's the second best movie in the series in my opinion. The action, it was good, the choreographing was good. I'm not sure how much I liked the CGI in it, especially with the droids and the big battle with the droids and the Jar Jar race, whatever, I forget what he is, but whatever Jar Jar is, and that big battle, I don't know how I feel about that, but Yoda in the prequels is the best looking Yoda without doubt. I love how he looks, I love how everything comes together with him. We get introduced to the Jedi Order, Samuel L. Jackson, all that good stuff. So the first prequel, it's okay, you know, it's not the best, it's not the worst, it's okay. It's a decent movie. The second movie we be looking at is Attack of the Clones. Now, this one I'm really struggling with here, because, you know, the action in it is a step up from Phantom Menace. I don't know why I linked out there, but Phantom Menace, the action's better, but the story in it kind of lacks a bit, because you practically have two sides of the story here. You have Anakin protecting Padme and doing what he has to do, and then you have Obi-Wan tracking down the person trying to murk Padme, which we find out is Jango Fett, Boba Fett's father, brutally murdered, as we can say. But yeah, I just don't know this movie. It's just I don't like the story in it. You got Anakin just being really creepy with Padme until Padme says that he likes him too, and then they end up doing whatever, getting married at the end of the movie. And then you have Obi-Wan, who has to go track down where Jango Fett is, he meets the alien race there. He has to fight Jango. He finds all the clones, and then he tells the Jedi Order about it, and the Jedi Order get there. And then Anakin and Padme go to save Obi-Wan, but then they end up getting captured with him. We meet Count Dooku, who sitting there all waiting, already knows about Emperor Palpatine being the Sith Lord he is, and all that stuff. And then we also have to think about, where the Jedi Order fall into this, how much Palpatine fits into this. Basically, Palpatine in this movie is just starting to take over the Senate, really. That's all he's doing. He isn't doing much, just making the Jedi Order feel more uncomfortable about him, making the Senate feel more comfortable with him, and that's just how it seems to be. Anakin's story building doesn't seem to get that much higher. He grows, but he doesn't grow enough to where it's a big character change from Phantom Menace. He grows into a teen. I don't know why, but him and with the beginning of Padme, where the sand meme is, like, before that, really, I don't know, he just kind of weirded me out with her. But the story, I feel like this one had the weakest story elements with it. It didn't have, and I would say it didn't even have the worst fighting. I feel like it's the same with Phantom Menace. Like, the choreographing, the way it is, the CGI in it, I would have to put it with the Phantom Menace, but I do think the CGI is a little better in this one than Phantom Menace. But I don't know, I can't deal with the story in this one. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's just me or if anyone else thinks that, but if you do, comment below. We'll get to that later. But next movie. Alright, the next movie. The very next movie. The best prequel in the series. Maybe even one of the best Star Wars movies. Revenge of the Sith. Oh, this movie's so clean, bro. Like, if you don't like Revenge of the Sith, I can't find out why. I can't see a problem with it. The story in it is so graceful, showing Anakin going from the Jedi who must follow the orders to becoming so desperate that he joins the dark side and trying to save Padme. And Obi-Wan's side of the story as well, where he has to go fight General Grievous. He kills Grievous, then Order 66 is called upon him, and he barely survives getting shot off of his tiger-looking thing that he was riding. And then he goes to meet up with Yoda. But before we get to that, we have to talk about the beginning, them entering the ship. Anakin and Obi-Wan having to save Emperor Palpatine, or Chancellor Palpatine as what he known at this time, from General Grievous' quote-unquote capture. They get in there, they have the little elevator scene, funny elevator scene, and then we can fast forward all the way to them getting to the Chancellor and Count Dooku, and this is the first part where we see Palpatine's influence on Anakin and how strong it really is whenever he tells him with the iconic line, "Do it!" And he kills Count Dooku, severs his head with both the lightsabers, and you just see Anakin's remorse afterwards, like how he shouldn't have done it, why it's against the Jedi code. You see that Anakin, his biggest flaw to himself is following the Jedi code. It's what puts him into the dark side. It what keeps him out of it for a bit, but it's very tipsy-topsy with Anakin, and that's why I love it, because it really shows how Anakin fell, how he became Darth Vader, how he actually got there, and not just some cop-out way of, like other movies do, like a cliche or something. But I love how they handled Palpatine in this entire series, especially in this movie. He finally shows his true dark side. He shows that he is the Sith Lord they've been looking for, to Anakin, and he gives a little bit of his backstory while they're sitting in that the Ober house looking place. I don't know what it really is, but there he talks about he killed his master and how he learned the way to save people, but he couldn't save himself. Another iconic line. But there's all this just to go to the point that Palpatine is really trying to get into Anakin, that he can become the next him, the next powerful man. And I really like this connection between them two. I know that's Anakin's fall. It's great. I don't know. I don't really have much words for it. But then we get to Obi-Wan's side, where he meets up with Yoda, and they're talking about what they're going to do. And then they ended up getting back. Well, first we have to talk about Anakin and Mace Windu's part. Anakin tells Mace Windu about Emperor being the Sith Lord after Palpatine tells him that he can teach him the dark side power to save people and keep them from dying. Then Mace Windu goes off to arrest him, but Anakin decides, I need him alive so I can save Padme, as well as Mace Windu wanting to kill Palpatine. But that is a problem because it's against the Jedi code. So whenever Mace Windu tries to kill him, Anakin does the nice little uppercut with his lightsaber, and then boom, there goes Mace Windu out the window, and then he has a breakdown, and then he decides, I'm all in on trying to save Padme, so there's no more Jedi for me. And he goes on with killing the younglings and destroying the Jedi Temple, and then going on to get rid of the second parties out on the lava planet. I forget what it's called. And then we get to the lovely scene after Yoda kills the two people trying to execute Order 66 on him. We get there. We get to the climax of the movie, the beautifulness it is. Padme, after being told by Obi-Wan that he killed all the younglings and that he knows that Anakin is the father of her child, or children, but they didn't know that at the time, but children. Anakin tries to persuade Padme, but she is not willing to be swindled. So, in the end, Anakin tries to force choke his wife till Obi-Wan comes down, makes him stop, and then we had this beautifully choreographed lightsaber fight. Oh my gosh, probably the best in the entire movie series. We get him fighting back and forth, with all the lava splattering everywhere. They had to avoid that. Got them force pushing each other away. The Master fighting his Padawan, seeing who will win. Even though everyone knows that Anakin's stronger, Obi-Wan's more wise and technical instead of being rushed up on his adrenaline like Anakin. And then we get to the scene where they get to the rock. The classic scene. Anakin, I have the high ground. It's such a beautiful scene too. The acting and it's amazing. It's probably the best acting in the entire prequel series from the man who plays Obi-Wan. I forget his name, but the entire speech he gives to Anakin as he's slowly falling closer into the lava, and as he picks up his lightsaber and goes away to the ship to get Padme to a place where she can give birth quietly and safely. We see Anakin get picked up by Emperor Palpatine, and he brings him to this place where they recreate him, and it's almost like they had to take Padme's life for Anakin's, and Padme gives birth to Luke and Leia. We'll continue on into the main 3, but before that, I already watched Solo. I'll probably put a review up for that and tell you all I feel about that movie. But so my ranking of the prequels to the original series goes like this: Attack the Clones, Phantom Menace, and then Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith is probably one of my favorite movies in the series. Probably one of my favorite movies I've watched in the past year or two. Just going back to it, all the nostalgia from it, it's such a fun movie as well. It's amazing. I love it. Tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think different. Let me know if you think the same. And I'll catch you guys in another video. So I'll see my beautiful badgers later.
If I get your thought, we playing Smash Bros. Nah, I'm kidding, I'm a fucker in her asshole. Pussy nigger talking down, we gon' smack hoes. Shoot a stupid bitch in her face, she a trash hoe. And I think she want all my cash, she a crack hoe. I'm a nut in her hair, she got a rash, yo. Niggas flexing, they look